Hi there, it's Marva. I call myself the storyteller because I love to tell stories, true stories, from which I have learned vital lessons. And I like to tell you these stories because I'm hoping that you too will learn vital lessons from these stories that will help you, like they've helped me, to make healthy choices and to lead a healthy, happy, long life. So, I have three true stories to share with you tonight that I have learned from, and I hope that you will learn from them also. And this is regarding elimination. Okay, elimination. We get rid of toxicity and waste from our bodies in many ways. One of them is through our urine, one is through our stool or poop, and also through our sweat, among other ways. But tonight I'm going to talk to you about elimination in terms of urine and stool or poop. Okay? So here I go with these three true stories. First one is I am a nurse of almost 25 years, and most of my nursing practice has been in the area of critical care and intensive care. So I've seen many things and I have heard many stories. One of them I'm going to share with you. I had a patient who was also a registered nurse of many years. She was an OB nurse and she worked the night shift. So she came in to my hospital. I was her nurse, and she came in because she had a chronic situation. And I asked her, how is it that she ended up with this chronic, and also it was an unusual illness that she had. So she proceeded to share with me how she became that ill and had been ill, I think, for about 8 years to the point where she was on disability. She said normally on her night shift, which she did 12-hour shifts, she never took the time out to use the bathroom. She never took the time out to go pee. She never took the time out to drink fluids, whether it's tea or water. She just never drank. She was busy for 12 and a half hours running around taking care of patients, and she never took the time out to drink water or to go pee. One particular night, she just suddenly became sick and could not move her legs and had no feeling in her legs. So her coworkers quickly rushed her to the emergency room in a wheelchair. And when she got there, they couldn't understand what was going on. They did MRI, they did CAT scan, all kinds of scan. They called neurologists in. Well, none of those scans showed anything, and the neurologist didn't see anything abnormal. So it was standard protocol for the emergency rooms to do complete blood count and chemistry when one is admitted. And they were done on her, and they discovered that her white blood cell count was very, very high. Now, why? High white blood cell count is usually indicative of an infection somewhere. But where did she have this infection? She wasn't having a fever, she said. She wasn't coughing. They did blood cultures, and they also did a urine analysis, which showed a preliminary result was that she had a urinary tract infection. So they did urine culture, and that showed that she had a pretty bad urinary tract infection. Long and short of it is that she told me that the urinary tract infection led to severe nerve damage in her lower back, in her hip, and in her legs, and had left her partially paralyzed. She was not able to walk. She had to use a wheelchair or walker. to get around and had been on disability for 8 years because of this. So you see how important it is for us to take time out to urinate. Many teachers and nurses and people of that profession don't take time out to drink liquids and to urinate. I know during my nursing practice, it was standard policy in the hospitals where nurses were not allowed to have a water bottle at the nurses' station. Now, if we're running around taking care of patients all day and we don't have water readily available, when will we drink? And most of us, every hospital I know, claim to give nurses half an hour for lunch break. Well, by the time you run to the cafeteria, grab something to eat, you might have 5 minutes to shovel it down. Okay? And we don't get 15 minutes break in the morning, 15 minutes break in the afternoon, like a lot of places. So yes, urinary tract infection can be serious. So you need to take time out to drink water during your shift at work and also to pee. The next story is about elimination for a stool or poop. My coworker, again, had a young daughter who had a child. The young lady was healthy. The baby was pretty healthy at birth, no problems. She was discharged on day 2. And when she went home, I think the 3rd day or so, she started having pain in her legs. So she called her doctor and he ordered pain medicine because he thought that it could be related to her putting her legs in the stirrups when she was pushing. So he ordered pain medicine for her, and next day the pain wasn't any better. By now it was day 5, and by day 6 she started losing sensation in her legs. So they called 911, brought her back to the hospital. They did ultrasound to check for blood clots. There was nothing. They did MRI and CAT scan of the back and the spine, nothing. They could not find anything wrong with this young lady, but she couldn't stand and she couldn't move her legs. Her mom was sharing the story with me during our shift, and I asked her, I said, do you know if your daughter has pooped since she had her baby? And she said she didn't know. She called her immediately and she asked her, and the daughter said no, it had been day 7 and since she had the baby, and she had not pooped. And I said to her, I think that is the cause of your daughter losing sensation in her legs and unable to walk. So the daughter shared the fact that she had been constipated, hadn't moved her bowels for 7 days. They gave her enema, laxative, she moved her bowel, and yes, the next day, the young lady was able to walk out of the hospital. See how important it is to poop? Very important. The third story is a family member of mine. Those are my dogs in the background. Pardon the noise. Somebody's at the door and they go wild. The third person is a very close family member of mine. She was in college and she called to tell me that she had lost sensation in her legs and could not walk. So I asked her, have you moved your bowel? And she said she had not moved her bowel in 4 days. So I instructed her to take some laxative and some prune juice is what I had told her to do, warm prune juice, and she did. She pooped like several times, a lot of poop, and was then after that able to move her legs and stand and do whatever she wanted to do with her legs. So I know from personal experience that if one is constipated, it can lead to a lot of health issues. Okay, it's say constipation can even cause heart attack. Constipation can cause urinary tract infection. Okay, so these are the stories I want to share with you, hoping that by your hearing these stories about other people's experiences with not peeing or not pooping, you too can learn from them and hopefully will not make the same mistakes. Okay, now in my video you see I have picture of apples. Apples are very, very rich in fiber, and they're a great addition to your salad. You can blend them out to make juice. You can eat apples with peanut butter. I like apples with peanut butter or with almond butter. And you can add them to your oatmeal, for example, or just eat them. And they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apple has a lot of great nutrients, a very low calorie, and great for snack, a lot of fiber, and are very good for the bowel. Okay, and I find that if I eat an apple or even a half an apple a day and drink 6 to 8 glasses of water, there's no way that I'm going to be constipated. Also, old-fashioned oatmeal helps me to be regular with my bowel. Once in a while, I'll get really, really constipated and I'll use the Natural Calm, which is an elemental magnesium that will also help to free things up. But oftentimes, if you find that you're constipated, it means you're eating too much processed food like, crackers and cookies and things like that, not enough fiber, and also not enough water. Okay? So take care of your bladder and take care of your bowel. It's very important to prevent issues like I discussed with you in this video. Okay? God bless you and be well till we meet again.